Hello and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah. We've got a wonderful show for you today. We're going to do some spotlights on some local businesses here in town. And perfect person to kick us off because he can give us some small business advice. This is James Kateman, owner of Draw In Customers and business coach to the stars. Glad to have you today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back. Our news partner, always bringing valuable information to us.
Sure.
And we're going to talk, of course, about starting a business. There's so much that goes into it. I've learned so much from you over the,
thank you.
the times that we've chatted.
Sure.
But a lot of people are afraid to start a business, and I understand that. What are some of the reasons that you see?
A lot of them, it's a fear of success. It's a fear of failure. It's just an overwhelming feeling of what all that they have to do to start their business. So it's just a lot going on in their head, and sometimes it's easier just to get a day job and hope that maybe someday I'll start a business.
No kidding. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. I think the sort of fear of the unknown takes a big role. What do you think is maybe one of the biggest challenges for people to overcome?
I feel like the biggest challenge is more of a decision-making or a confidence issue. Some people just don't understand how good they are at what they do.
Sure.
And they just fear that, that they just can't overcome that and actually show the world what they can do. So it kind of withholds them.
Absolutely. Well, right. And there's, like you said, there's a fear of failure there too.
Complete.
And it's an absolute leap of faith when you start a business. There's
Huge.
got to be passion, but you also have to understand all of the elements that go into it. And a lot of people make mistakes. So what do you think, in your experience in helping people start businesses, that they should really do before they start a business?
I feel like it would be great to actually get a mentor, or actually a few mentors. Just talk to people that have started their business already, and maybe people that have made some mistakes, or people that have been in business for a long time. And it doesn't necessarily have to be doing what you want to do. It doesn't have to be your future competition or anything, but just anybody that started a business. Typical business owners will be more than happy to meet with you for coffee and just kind of pick their brain a little bit. And you'll learn some stuff that you just couldn't learn anywhere else outside of experience.
Well, it's so true. A lot of people learn by making mistakes, right?
Usually, yep.
Maybe you can learn from some of the business owners' mistakes that they've made and at least avoid some of those mistakes.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things that you're so good at helping folks with is, you've really sort of come up with a method of what needs to happen, what sort of plans need to take place, what steps are needed before starting a business. Right. But what would you give somebody in terms of advice if they're just really unsure if starting a business is for them?
I like to do what I call the rocking chair test. So when they're 90 years old and they're sitting on the porch in their rocking chair, and if they didn't start a business, do they regret it?
Oh, good.
Or if they did start a business, do they regret it? And just figure out, okay, where am I going to be in the future? How do I feel about this?
Right.
And just either it's something that you really like, you know what, it's not that big of a deal, I had a decent life. Or you know what, I always wish that I would have, and that's going to be the one regret.
Right.
What do you really have to lose?
Right. I love
Just
that.
jump out.
The rocking chair test. I think that's a great way to think about big decisions. That's wonderful.
Right.
Now, since you've brought this up, maybe there is somebody that says, I don't know if it's worth the leap of faith or if I would look back and regret it. Do you ever tell somebody, hey, don't start the business?
That's so challenging, because there's sometimes you meet people that you're just like, there's no way this can go well. But on the flip side of that coin, I'm not really one to be able to judge them necessarily, right? I can't say that they're going to be successful or not. So I can give them the tools and give them awareness and try to steer them. But realistically, there's tons of people that are way more successful than I never thought would be successful. So I'm not in a position to be able to judge them accurately to tell them not to do it.
Right. Well, hey, some of the best businesses out there, I'm sure people thought, no way that would work, right? And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but you'll never know unless you take the plunge. Now, you have a new book I'd love for you to share before we go.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the Bold Business Book. It's on Amazon. Yay.
Perfect.
Yep. So it's got 5-star rating, which is cool.
Oh,
it's actually on sale for the next few days for 99 cents. The ebook is.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
So it's super cool. Yeah.
Well, what a great way to get a little bit of insight into what you do and how you can help.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're starting a small business, or if you have a small business and you'd like a little extra help and assistance, this is your guy. He's the expert and has coached a lot of folks along the way into being more successful. So
yeah, thank you. It's fun.
Yeah, you bet. Well, you can tell you enjoy what you do. And we appreciate you being here, James.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. Again, this is James Kateman with Draw In Customers, and this is Talk of the Town. We'll be right back with more.